Peace and love, family. So I apologize. I made 2 videos and my phone, the battery wasn't charging properly, so it just like disconnected everything, and it erased everything. So I wanted to talk about our ascension, our rising, how the enemy will use whatever tool, whatever weapon to stop us from rising. There's many weapons he will use. He will use alcohol. He will use television. He will use cigarettes. And the primary one now is to take the jab, because he don't want us to rise. He wants to stop our ascension, our evolution. You know that the world, the earth itself, it's actually, it's in a state of evolution as well. So it actually has a vibration, it has a tone, it has many factors, and the world itself is in a state of change, just like we are evolving. The world is evolving. So the enemy is going to present pornography because it brings you to that low vibrational state. Alcohol, food, certain foods have, especially the genetically modified foods, they have a specific frequency, and they have a vibrational code that lowers your vibration, because like I said, the enemy does not want us to rise. So education is power, wisdom is power. But with the jab, now speaking of the jab, it's something big right now. It's a pandemic, I already know that, and it's biological warfare. They pretty much want to take the spirit that lives inside of you out. They want to take it out. They want to lower your vibration so low that you begin to go to them for answers. You begin to look to people for answers and decision making, instead of listening to the spirit within. Because internally we have an internal compass that directs us, that leads us, that tells us, don't go there, because it's dangerous on this side. Avoid that area. This is the internal compass that the Most High has given us to be able to make decisions, to be able to make good judgment, to be able to know when to deal with this person, when not to deal with this person. So we have an internal compass that the enemy seeks to destroy. But like I said in my last video, is that we welcome these invaders into our lives. We open the door. And what better way to open the door to an enemy is to allow him to pierce us. And what happens when you pierce something? You break the surface of the skin if you pierce. And I don't believe in piercing my body whatsoever, cutting my body. I don't believe that's I'm against that, cutting the body. And you know, when you read the scriptures, it actually tells you that as well, is that you should not pierce, you should not cut the body, the surface. So when we allow people foreign invaders, the easy way for them to come in is to provide that opening, right? And that's what they do with these swabs, putting them up your nose. You create the right environment, and whatever they have engineered, because it's a biological weapon that they're using against us, whatever they have engineered stays there on the surface. And that's why people are getting sick, because you have provided the barrier. You have opened yourself up. And that's what happens in real life, is when you're in a house and you just allow anyone to come in your house, right? They don't even have the password. They're in and out. And that's what Satan does. He comes in and out of the earth. It says he walks the earth to and from. That's what the devil does, right? So gotta stand up for your liberties. There's violations that people are doing in society, they're violating us. Not me, but there's a lot of people I know that are being violated because they're not speaking up. They're just going with the flow, or they're afraid to lose their job, their career, but you do not know, you fool, that you're going to lose your health because you're allowing people to perform constant tests on you like a test subject. Just like in Hitler's regime, when you read the story of Hitler, the testings that they were doing to people. But like I said, someone told me when I was young, my mom always used to tell me that we allow the devil to come in. We allow him to come in. He can't come in unless we give him authorization, right? A lot of us are just allowing certain things to happen, and we don't say anything. We just go with the flow, and this person says this and the CDC says this, and we don't question anything. So what are we, just robots and followers? We don't kick back. There's no kickback. There's no, you don't challenge things. You just, okay, willy-nilly. We can't continue to live like this, brothers and sisters. We have to stand up for our rights. If we don't feel comfortable with something being thrashed up our nose, we need to speak up against that. So that's why the title is, they don't want you to ascend. And believe it or not, they're more afraid of us than we should be of them, because they know the end of the script. They know how the story will end. We win. We win. So they want to stop the ascension process. Just like the world, like I said before, the earth, not the world, the earth is evolving, and we're evolving with it. We have to keep up with the frequencies of the earth, right? Because we're changing. The Most High says we're going from glory to glory. We're going from strength to strength. So even us, we're evolving into more like the Most High, and that's why we're hated, right? We're hated for our position, our stance, what we stand for, what we have seen. We have seen some of us were let go from jobs because we knew too much, right? And the Most High fought for us so that we won't be destitute, even when they told us we were on furlough and then they didn't want us back. The Most High still ruled in our favor, and he still provided for us. So he's always a way maker. But don't think that these people were on your side, because when you needed them after the fact, they were nowhere to be found. They couldn't even vouch for you. You can even use some of them for recommendation. Nothing like that. Because I tried to do that. I asked one of my employers before to write a letter of recommendation, and they denied it. And I was a good worker. I didn't get late. I didn't get terminated. I was on furlough, and then I was let go after the fact because of the pandemic. So what I'm trying to say is that the enemy, he wants to destroy you. The enemy is not your friend. He's not going to come with a pitchfork. He's going to come smiling all in your face, everything that you imagined. Whatever your soul imagines, he's going to come as a friend, as a helper, as a helpmeet. He's going to be everything that you want him to be. And don't think that these people that you thought blessed you, for example, if you were let go from a job, because that's what happened to me. First of all, they were trying to buy me. They offered me some money that I wasn't going to be able to, I wasn't going to be able to make it, pretty much, with a family, just for 2 weeks, because I did 2 years. So they tried to pay me for like 2 weeks or something like that. It wasn't enough, so I denied the offer. So they try to buy you. They're going to try to buy you. And you think, oh, they're trying to look out for me. No, they're trying to look out for their own best interest. They can care less. Because like I said, they're more afraid of you than you are of them. And you've seen too much, and you know too much. So they're trying to pretty much save their ass. That's what it is. They're trying to save their asses. So they try to buy you off like that. So, gotta change your diet. There's so many things we have to do. Change your diet so that you can change the frequency of your body. You know that if you eat meats, it's very toxic. If you eat meats, it's very toxic to your body. So if you checked the pH of your body, because there's a scale that you can use On this side, it's alkaline, and on this side is alkaline, and pretty much is acidic on the left side of the scale. So when you use the pH strip, you can you check your urine and you're able to identify if your body is acidic or alkaline. If your body is in that acidic state, it opens itself up for cancer, for diabetes, for sickness, right? Wide open, y'all. So when you become alkaline, and that's where we need to be, in the alkaline state. That's where you need to be at, which means that you're at the right level, at the right frequency, and you're not open for sicknesses. It's impossible to be sick if you're in an alkaline state. Unless, like I said, you could be a wicked person and get sick that way, because there's a portal, there's an opening. So it's very important, it's very imperative for us to raise our vibrations, raise our frequency level through the right, even music. Even Carlos Santana, it's funny how he said that through his music was able to rewire pretty much your DNA, the structure of your DNA. And that's what medication does. That's why some people can't think straight. That's what alcohol does. That's what cigarette does. It rewires and restructures your DNA. And that's why other people have other addictions and they can't let go. It could be like a sex addiction, or somebody that's watching too much pornography because they're addicted, and whatever hypnotized them, which is a mental type of thing, whatever went through their eye socket, that is why they seek to puncture you, to jab you up, because it's an opening, right? How many openings do we have? We have eyes. That's an opening. Anything that goes through your eyes, you can get an infection that way. Something goes in your ear, the same thing. You can get an infection there. Something goes through your mouth. That's why it is crazy that I'm talking about mouth. Perform on oral sex and things like that on people. People get sick and they could get herpes and things like that through doing things like that. And you could probably get AIDS through that as well. You won't even know somebody's bleeding down there. You just wouldn't know. So there's specific openings. So the plan of the enemy is to... See, you got to give the enemy consent for him to be able to perform something on you. You have to give him consent, legal or authorization, to be able to come in to make you sick. And that's what I see a lot of people. They're taking a jab. They're giving the enemy consent. Why do you think they have to fill out paperwork? When you get your little card and things like that, you have to fill out paperwork, your name, your signature, and you pretty much erase all liability on them, because even if you got sick, you already signed off that you accept all responsibility and all liability. You already signed up for it. So stop signing up for things. Stop signing your children up for things, because you're going to make your children sick. Alright, so that was it, y'all. That's all I want to share. I hope you have a blessed night.